And we are live on a Friday. And we are live. Good afternoon. I almost said good morning, but good afternoon to you and yours. And welcome to it, man. We call this, it's a wrap. This is where we wrap up our conversations for the week. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Nkosi, and I'm your host behind the scenes, making sure that we are sound and we appear perfectly on visuals. It is a Phaleng, our super producer, and welcome to it today. It is the 16th of September, and we are a week short of what was an amazing event that took place in Ekhuruleni, and we are deciding, or rather, we're dissecting that or unpacking that with the host or one of the person that has been sitting on the panel in terms of planning that event. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the much well attended, I think also English is running away with me, but well attended, amazing, historic event for the LGBTQI plus and everybody that was involved. I'm talking about the Ekhuruleni PRIDE. I'm joined on the line on the other side by Ntsupe Mohapi, who's joining us a member of Epoch. She's going to be dissecting this topic with us. Ntsupe, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing?
Hey, good afternoon. I'm doing good. I'm well. Thanks for having me again on the show.
No, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for making time, and thank you so much for participating in one of the most historic event, or one of the most historic celebrations in terms of the LGBTQI plus. But I'm so glad that you're here to help us talk about this. So for everybody that has been watching or is watching, make sure that you're part of the conversation by leaving your comment in the comment section below. We are live on our Oram Hope and Facebook page. We're also live on YouTube. We're also live on www.popin.org. That is our website. And you can follow us on other social media platforms. On Twitter, we are at n_health. Make sure that you use the hashtag It's a Wrap and just send your questions for Ntsupe, especially regarding Ekhuruleni PRIDE. So we are unpacking that this afternoon. So Ntsupe, like I said, I'm quite excited that you are here to talk to us about that. Let's not even waste time. I think it would be great for us to start the conversation from a historic point of view of Epoch. So just give us a brief background of what is Epoch and how or when did it start about?
Well, Epoch started in 2018. Epoch stands for Ekhuruleni PRIDE Organizing Committee. The aim when we started this was just to organize Pride. After the murders of Yudis Melane and Nkosi. So we thought maybe in our township, because it was the first time we experienced, the hate crime. And so we started that just for a march. But we realized after some time that there are many challenges that the LGBTIQ plus community is facing, especially in Ekhuruleni. So then we started to form an organization. Then we didn't change the name.
It was from that point on. And I think it is quite a historic name. It's going to be remembered for quite a while. I think what you guys are doing is building a legacy, and a legacy that is so befitting for the LGBTQI plus community. I think we need a lot of that. But like I said, I think we're 2 weeks shy of the event, so I want us to also unpack the event. But in your view, before we get there, what would be your interpretation of what Pride is?
I think Pride is a safe space. For me, it's a safe space for the LGBTIQ plus community, and also for our allies and our families and friends. So I think it's a space just to show our diversity, to be visible, and also there's that part of community awareness or dialogue that comes up when we are hosting Prides, because now there are conversations that start to come out, why is this one like that? And we start educating the community. So I think it's just a safe space for us to meet, not only for the LGBTIQ plus, as I said, but for the community as a whole.
Yeah. Do you think then there is enough, you touched on visibility, that it is a safe space, also where LGBTQI plus and members alike can partake in it? Do you think that there is enough visibility in terms of Pride? And you look at your very first Pride to the Pride that just happened about a week ago, is there enough visibility? And I think maybe we can also measure that in terms of the attendance and the support that Ekhuruleni Pride gets to the community or gets from the community.
Yeah, I think there is. There is much difference from when we started. I think people know much about Pride and they are keen to attend. Although our community, people attend for different reasons. You know, you'll find that because in our Pride, especially Ekhuruleni, we always start with marching the streets of the township. And you find that people don't come to march, but they will come for festivities, for performances, you know, just to drink. And yeah, so I think the visibility in the morning is not much. No, it's less than the one in the afternoon. So I think what we do as an organization, we try to have sort of workshops leading to Pride. We're trying to have pre-Pride workshops so that we educate people on what is Pride, what are we trying to achieve by hosting a Pride. Because most people think, you know, because of the constitution, because of organizations like EPOC, everything is now okay for our community. But the queer community is still not safe in our streets. There's still a lot that is happening. We cannot relax yet, you know, so there are, you know, programs that we have to do in order for us to say, yeah, now we can say there will be no more hate crime and hate speech. But for now, that's not the case.
Yeah, and I think it's quite important that we need to get that education or that kind of sensitization when we look at especially hate crimes. You touched on the march side of it and the festivity side of it. And I think, you know, I was talking to, I think about 2 years or a year ago, to the organizer of Devon Pride and, you know, MC, and MC was touching on, you know, the importance of, you know, why would people sort of like gravitate towards celebrating. And you know, they touched on how, you know, we are experiencing hate crimes, we're so discriminated that almost it looks like we are caged, and that's why when Pride comes, all we want to do is just to celebrate. And I think you touched on that as well, to say the march is not really, you know, attended or fully attended as it were, you know, the celebrations. But do you think, Uti, the marching is more sensitive, and maybe that's why people don't want to sort of like start with the march, because then, you know, we have to march with a purpose. We cannot just march. And, you know, marches in South Africa, you know, especially with our history as Black people, and I want to also say as LGBTQI, when we march, there is a message that we're trying to relay. There is a discourse that we're trying to address. So do you think that perhaps maybe march is a little bit sensitive, and much because but we want to be free and celebrate and be colorful and be festive?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's for other people, it's even for everyone, you know, we march with different reasons. And we hold placards because sometimes what we write on those placards is what comes from our lives, our personal lives, it's our experiences, it's the messages that we are trying to say, you know, to send to the community. So I think it is, but it's important that whatever reason that maybe will make you to march or not to march, just think about the common goal that we are all trying, the message that we are all trying to send, you know, because I think visibility there, it shows the seriousness, you know, of the issues that we are trying to bring to the community. So I think that that's very important. Yeah, I think people can just start with marching. Because even if you can say we're going to march a previous day or previous week before Pride, people will still won't come to the march. So we'd rather just mix the two and say, let us march in the morning and then let us have festivities, because both are important. And MC is right, because we also need to celebrate ourselves. You know, we're coming from deep-rooted issues that we're coming from, families at work, you know, on the streets. So it's important that when we meet, we should also celebrate ourselves. There's nothing wrong with the festivities. We also have to do that, you know, because that's where we meet, that's where we show our diversity, that's where we laugh and forget, you know, about our challenges for a day. So it's important, both, I think both programs are important.
Yeah, I think you're so right. And we cannot disassociate the two or separate the two. I think the two are joined like that, and we need to first start. For me, in my head, I'm thinking to start with the business of the day, which is getting the message across, and can only do that, or one of the ways of doing it, which also is significant, is through marching, and then get to the festivities and the celebration and the networking with our queer folk. Let's unpack then the workshop. You touched on the workshops that there's a build up to Ekhuruleni Pride. You start with the workshops. Perhaps maybe just give us a bit of a run through of what are some of the significant topics that you touch, or what do you workshop people on through these workshops for Pride, and some of the highlights that you've had with the workshops.
I think the most important one is to have a workshop about pride itself. What is pride? Why should we have pride? And get different views from different generations. How was pride when it started? How are they feeling about pride now, our young people? And see if there's still a significance for us as an LGBTIQ plus community to have these pride matches. I think that's the most important workshop that we always have to do. But obviously it comes with, funding, it comes with getting resources, but we're trying to partner with other organizations so that we have these workshops. Even last year, I think we also had, as a pre-Pride event, we were it was a screening, of the documentary that we did as an organization. It's called The Queer Movement. So there is interviews from the old generation, the older generation of LGBTIQ plus to the young ones about their lives. So we're trying to see the movement from the 80s until now. So we had that, and we had conversations that were coming from that. This year, we were partnering with Sister Love, an organization called Sister Love, and the topic there was about the health. It was a healthy love party. They call it a healthy love party. So mostly we're talking about HIV/AIDS, we're talking about STIs, but in a fun way. We had sex toys. So it was very awesome. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. So I think the community
show and sex toy, other things.
Yeah, there were sex toys actually. So we were like, it was something new when you bring the health education in that way, for our community. I felt it was exciting. It was very exciting and very educational. Yeah.
I like that. Perhaps maybe Ntsupe, on the next one, because obviously we are going to have a next one, and yes. Have everybody to attend. Just in terms of those workshops, how you met them and how you sort of like select and put them. We can we sort of get a what would it be called, a schedule to say this workshop is happening here. These are the people that will participate, and
yes.
a lot of people attending the workshop, so that and then the pride becomes bigger and better, or the pride it is attended from people that know the behind the scenes, or sort of like attend the workshops. I'll tell you with awards, the feather awards, we would have dialogues, or the feather awards committee would have dialogues in different communities, and then invite people to come. So I think in that sense it would be great. But I think you guys are doing an amazing job. You touched on the screening of a documentary, and again, we need to see more of it. I think queer people are so creative, and that's one of the ways to get our history across, or to document our history. And you touched on that documentary, being or interviews from the elderly LGBTQI plus members, and obviously they're giving us their teachings and all that. But I want us to talk about the two, say, the elder generation, and then now these young Babizama 2000, very colorful, very bright, very cutthroat, very energetic young people. What do you think, would be, let's say, lessons or words of wisdom, or sort of like stories that we can collect from them to to learn about Pride or to learn about the history of the LGBTQI plus from the elderly generation?
I think if you listen to the interviews, you'll find out the issue of unity. You know, long time ago, the LGBTIQ plus community, there was unity. They loved one another. They protected one another, you know, because maybe it was a smaller community then, but they used to hang out in maybe 3 places per township. Yeah. And everybody knew that if you want them, you'll find them here. You know, and they had a lot of allies. They had a lot of allies because they reached out to the community. So I think it's a matter of, if we are divided, as they said, you know, we fall. If we are divided as a community, we don't need to be friends. We don't need to be friends. We don't need to hang out together, but just protecting one another. You know, knowing that the other person is your brother, is your sister. We are facing the same struggles, you know, irrespective of how old you are, irrespective of, because you'll see in our community, LGBTI community, there's a lot of classism, you know, who's better, who's wearing the brands, and those things really, they don't matter, because now when hate crime comes, or discrimination or stigma, it comes to everyone, irrespective of, you think you are better than me. So I think unity is very important. I think if we will be stronger together if we love one another. So I think that's what the older generation is teaching the young ones, that there's nothing you're gonna do without love. You know, if I know my brother struggling, I should be able to assist. If somebody has been chased away from home, I should be able to find a home for them. You know, give them some toiletries, but be there for one another, because the community, the fact is, majority of the community doesn't love us. So we have to take care of one another. You know, that's what, I think it's important.
I think those are pearls of wisdom that you said quite well, that, you know, we need one another. We can't, none of us would be able to survive without each other. No. And I think the community is sometimes so divided within us, and we then go out and seek acceptance and seek support from the heterosexual world. And I'm like, but, you know, it lacks so much within us. And I think that's the sort of like fruit that I'm getting from the from your response to that question. So if you just joined us, welcome, man. I'm joined by Ntsupe Mohapi, who is one member of Epoch. And today we are unpacking the Ekhuruleni Pride that was so beautiful and colorful. I saw it on social media. I couldn't attend, but I saw it on social media. It was beautiful. It was well attended. I liked the first the march. I wanted to understand, I'm not from the area, so I wouldn't know the distance, but I saw that you guys did a march, and there was placards, the streets were colorful, and you know, and then I saw the activities or the now fun part of it. And I can tell you this, if you did not go like me, we definitely missed out. And Homo has me by the chokehold. During the next one. So you can send your comments if you're at the match or if you attended the entire Pride. What has been some of your highlights, and what are your views when it comes to Ekhuruleni Pride? I think it joins some of these existing prides that we have. You know, so being one of them. We have Johannesburg Pride, we have Cape Town Pride, Victoria Pride, Hammanskraal Pride. I think we have Mamelodi Pride. So we have a lot of prides that are happening. Actually, I think we just have a round table with members of the LGBTQI plus community and talk about these prides. I don't know if we have comments. I cannot see them on my screen, or some kind of interaction. Let's go through them and see who is joining us. Also, Ntsupe, when we get back, we need to let me just go through the love that I'm seeing on the screen. Thank you so much for everybody that has been watching. Let's see. We have Real Isaac. The famous DJ Midnight is joining us. Midnight, I would love for you to play at one of these prides. He's quite talented. He is residency on a lot of radio stations, but I know Mutsuding is one of them. You could is also another. And a lot. Tom and FM, a lot. He's good. We would definitely want him. He also played at Hammanskraal Pride. So definitely would love for him to be able to come to our Ekhuruleni Pride and give us the music there. I'm also seeing a lot of love coming through. Our screen is red with love, Ntsupe. I think this is just only for you, not me. Me, they see me every day when I jay back one at time. So the love is for you. Please receive it. This one, I know, right? we're playing the song in the background for the match. Yes. And beautifully, I don't know if I still have Ntsupe. Ntsupe, are you still there? Your screen has frozen. I don't know what's going on. Sure. Also, load shedding, guys, is a myth. Hey, not a myth. It's among us, and it's doing the things. Load shedding is with us. But we wanted to then discuss when is the next one, or when was the previous match? Are you back?
The what? Can you repeat that?
I was saying when. Remind us of the date. I've lost you a bit. I think our network just broke, but I have you back. I wanted you to remind us of when was this the last Pride that you had in Ekhuruleni. When was it? When was the date?
On the 10th of September. Last Saturday.
Is that the annual date? Is it always on the second week of September?
Yes, always on the second week, because we're trying to accommodate other prides. Yeah.
Most definitely. Always on the second week of September. Mark the week and make sure that you diarize it in terms of your LGBTQI plus calendar and events. Let's now talk about what sets the Ekhuruleni Pride from other local prides. I don't want to call them local prides, but I want to make it fun to say Kasi prides, because I think Kasi prides, they really, for me, they're so authentic. I'm not taking away from the big prides, but I think Kasi prides are so authentic because they are happening where the issues are. Like it's Benegant inside where it's like in the middle of Tembisa, where hate crimes are being experienced, where homophobia is experienced, where LGBTQI plus are marginalized. So it's happening there. And other prides are a little bit outskirts, also you spoke about classism, then that's where we're gonna see that coming out a lot. But what sets Ekhuruleni Pride apart from other prides that we have in South Africa?
I think, as you're saying, it's the Kasi vibe, it's authentic, and it's on the streets of the townships. And what I like about Ekhuruleni Pride is that although it's difficult to organize, but we move from one township to the other. We are not having our pride on one township, every year. We move. So we need to cover all the townships. So when we cover all the townships, we know what the challenge is. We need to know what challenges are there in that township. And we're trying so hard to work with the local organization and the stakeholders. So as much as we organize Pride as Epoch, but we also have these small organizations that we are bringing with, I think it's offering them resources, and they get to experience how is it to organize such a big event as Pride. And I think it helps them in a way, because we work with them, and I think the important thing mostly is to transport people to Pride, which normally we don't have funds for that. Almost our community, they can transport themselves to the party and to the concert and to the stadium, but they will want transport when it comes to their own things, to support. So those are the issues that I think as organizations we should look into. Also, have conversations with our constituency of why is it like that, why when it's your thing, you need somebody to support you to attend. But if you go to wherever you're going, you always have money to go there. So I think by moving the pride from one township to the other, I think that's what sets us apart from other prides.
Yes. Listen, I think you hit the sweet spot when you said that you are taking the pride to the people and it's moving around. Other prides are so stagnant on one place, and I don't think really the impact is as big as you moving around. So I think we like really setting the tone for other prides. So to say, Hammanskraal Pride, don't make Pride in Mandela, move to another place. Ntsupe Pride, don't make it at one place, move to another. Because I think that's, you're not only setting the footprint, but I think you're also throwing in the seeds to these communities and say, hey, listen, there are these people, they're the LGBTQI, they're the most colorful, they're the most bright, and they exist. I think more than anything is about making sure that we stamp or we cement the existence of the LGBTQI plus culture. You spoke about challenges or challenges. What are some of the challenges that you come across when you are trying to put this amazing event together every year? And how can we solve those problems, or how can we try to mitigate those challenges as we go along?
I think it's mostly about obviously the funding, the sponsors. But I think it can be solved if other stakeholders and other organizations can come together. If we won't have to rely mostly on government, to push our agenda, because it won't be the way we want it, So I think if we pull together, if we put on resources together, I think it can work well. I think the challenges that we are facing won't be that much, because we've done it. We've done it before without funds. We've done it, with the help of local businessmen. So we cannot say tomorrow we are not doing Pride because we don't have funds, because there are ways. There are allies who are willing to, But I think as a community, LGBTI community, we must also support our own things, I'm not shy to say, especially when I had kids, maybe when I started the organization, who were still at school at that time. And now they've grown up, they went to universities, they came out, they were part of the organization, they are working. I'm saying to them, but we have to have our own funds. We have to have our own funds. Can't you support? Somebody supported you to be who you are today. Why don't we try and support the next generation with our own funds, so that we can push our own agendas? We won't rely for somebody else to say, no, I'm giving you money, but this is what we have to do. This is not what we have, because that's what funding is all about. They dictate who should you put to the program, even if you know that person is homophobic or they once said something. But because the money comes from them, then you have to comply.
Yeah. He who holds, or he who gives the purse controls the narrative. I always say that. Whoever gives you the dollar controls the narrative. It's quite impactful. And I think, it's time to that we then have these conversations quite frankly with whoever is involved, because it cannot for the longest time that then we get to be dictated. And I think a lot of things are being dictated when it comes to the LGBTQI plus. One thing that we have is pride, and we cannot let anyone try to dictate that. That is ours. That's
ours.
It's in our DNA. I'm born gay. I'm born with pride. So we cannot let someone who isn't to try and dictate how I should then celebrate pride, or how I should do it. You spoke about, in the beginning, that pride is a safe space. How do we make it better to accommodate queer people? You also touching, I think your responses are sort of like interlinked. You spoke about it being a safe space, but it cannot exist if it does not have funding, or it does not have the support that it needs. So therefore, it cannot be a safe space anymore. It cannot to house everybody who is queer and non-queer who wants to support. But how do we make Pride more of a safe space for everyone who wants to be part of it?
I think it's safety first. It's important. Safety is important. Everybody should feel safe when they are attending a Pride. And I think you shouldn't shy away from, having the ground rules, because like at Ekhuruleni Pride, we say Pride starts at 10 in the morning and ends at 6.
Yeah.
And everybody at 6, it's no longer the organization's, at responsibility. If you are left behind with your transport, or if you decide to stay. But people always do that. They always don't go home. And every time we have reports, somebody was stabbed, a group of friends fought. So I think we should make sure that in order for people to take us seriously, we have to take ourselves seriously. you know, make sure that if you want to go to the after party, you are safe, even there, as a community. So I think it's safety. And I think it's also supporting each other's prides. I cannot say I'm from Ekhuruleni, I only go to the Ekhuruleni Pride. It doesn't work like that. The struggle is all over. You know, I have to attend Soweto Pride. Soweto Pride Committee has to attend the Ekhuruleni Pride. I think we must show that kind of support and unity, you know, amongst even Joburg Pride. I'm hoping one day Joburg Pride, Kali or whoever is organizing that, will be able to attend a township pride. I think in that way, and also getting influential people attending all prides, irrespective of where they are, I think that also can build, you know, the prides. And yeah, I think we just need to support one another. And I'm happy that the Soweto Pride members came last week. You know, members from few came, Tamitis came, and I told them that this is what we have to show our community, that we are not, you know, we're not classing anyone. Every pride is important. Every narrative is important. Yeah, exactly. I think that's what's going to strengthen our pride.
Yeah, most definitely. I want us to wrap it up, but you touched again, that should be tabled as part of the discussion or part of the conversation that we need to have, frankly, with everyone involved, to say, let's not be selective on which pride we attend and which one we don't. Let's attend all pride. The much energy that we give to Johannesburg Pride or Joburg Pride should be the very same energy that we give to, you know, Ekhuruleni Pride or Pretoria Pride or, I don't know, Cape Town Pride. So we definitely have to do so. My is buzzing with the love. Like I said, Ntsupe, the love is not for me, the love is for you. So it is directed to you. Thank you so much for
thank you.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Let's talk highlights, Ntsupe, in wrapping up. What has been some of your biggest, or what have been some of your favorite highlights from this year's Ekhuruleni Pride? Yeah, and let's wrap it up.
I think the highlights is to see it growing, and the highlights is to see people attending from all walks of life and people appreciating. Sometimes even people criticizing, because that's where sometimes we grow as an organization, you know. So I think it's just for me to see our community happy. It gets stressful when we organize Pride, but once on the day of the Pride, you see people happy, see people dancing, you see people meeting one another, then you say, yeah, my work here is done, you know, for a day. So I think the highlight is just to see everybody happy. I think when I see that, you know, I get, especially the young people, I get very excited. Know that.
Yeah. In that note, Ntsupe, thank you so much. Super producer Happy wants us to play Congo. It's not Congo. Is it Congo? Doesn't that song have a different title? No. It's Congo. All right. Wants to play Joe Mafela's Congo, because that was your match song for the Ekhuruleni Pride.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. We'll see you on the next Pride, and you know, don't lose the hope, don't lose the fire, don't lose the courage. Keep knocking on those doors. You know, keep on. Yeah, we will definitely support you. Keep on knocking, keep on asking, beg if you must. All that. Just do whatever, for me, whatever means necessary, let us have pride, because it is most definitely a birthright to all us who are part of the LGBTQI. And with that said, thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
We're definitely going. I'm sorry. No, I know. All right, thanks. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you on the next Pride, and yeah, happy Pride.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
All right, that Ntsupeng Mohapi, giving us an update of what has been happening or what had happened at this year's Ekhuruleni PRIDE. Thank you so much to everybody that has supported, obviously, Orapop in being one of the major supporters of PRIDE, especially our team out at Orapop in Ekhuruleni, led by Sister Mapaseka Mapena. We really appreciate you guys for going out there and giving this community its service what it deserves. I'm going to see you next week, Monday. We are talking, she popped in with Sister Mapaseka Mapena, actually, a fave right on the platform. It's been a minute since we've spoken to you. We are talking all things gender affirming healthcare from a clinical point of view. Make sure that you join us for that. But this Saturday, MCR 106.6, also on www. I think it's MCR FM. Make sure that you tune in. Sister Bunolo is talking to DJ Young Sam, and they're discussing you because it's going to be a fun conversation. And thank you so much for everybody that has been supporting us through. From my super producer,
also, we are also having the store at the We Exist at
2012
yeah,
market.
012
Tomorrow 012 the market. Wow. 012 we there we are doing a stall. Make sure that you pop in and take, guys, when you're there on these things, take pictures and tell us that you are there.
Oh, water. We have nice water.
I almost showed them this water. This is not the nice water, but we have water better than this water. Come to get yourself water. And many other, we have giveaways as well. Hoodies, bags, a lot of things, guys. Real Isaac. Give us your address, but we know Isaac.
You will come and get.
Yes, Isaac, please pop in. We have a goodie for you. But nonetheless, thank you. See, I've been talking. From myself, Nkosi, and my super producer, Phaleng. It's been real. Happy Friday. I'm going to see you on Monday. Bye.